Hello. Welcome back. It's been honestly an awful amount of time, I will be honest. I put into a community post that I've been working like an absolute disgusting amount. I mean like 11 days in a row just consistently. And then on top of that, I had to renew my permit. So basically for like the last month, I've been either working or I've been at the DMV on my days off, which are very few and far between. But that isn't your issue. It is more mine. Things will get better, hopefully, eventually. But yeah, it's bothering me that we don't have a roof still. So I think my goal for this is I'm just going to finish the roof. I don't know how much cobblestone I have necessarily, but wow, that's amazing. We have like none. But yeah, I want to finish the roof for this episode. I'm giving myself a shorter amount of time than I usually do for recording, just because it's been a lot. For some reason, at least processing, setting aside 30 minutes in my brain to do something, at least recording this has been kind of hard to do, given I'm trying to balance like a lot of my actual free time with just a lot of the other things that I enjoy, or just like hanging out with people or trying to do stuff in real life. So it's been a lot to kind of push myself to sit down and record. Even these episodes where I don't edit them, it's been weird. I feel like I'm missing out on stuff, but I'm not really on socials, and I don't really have much to miss out on at the moment. So again, more my issue, less your guys's. But either way, hello, creeper. Just kill them just in case they try and sneak up on me. And then right here, I think I'm just gonna mine up a lot of the cobblestone. Oh, hello there. Bonk, bonk. My sense is so... Oh my god! My sense is so high at the moment. Oh, it's nighttime. Okay. Wow. That's amazing. I feel like I can't even speak right now. So much is going on. So I'm gonna sleep. We're gonna head back down there. We're gonna get at least 2 stacks of cobblestone, and we're gonna finish the roof. And then that gives me an excuse to upload and get back onto the routine of it, because I tend to struggle with that. But that is okay. Oh my god! This motherfucker's persistent. God damn. Okay. On top of that, one of my favorite games, if you have watched my channel or at least like my old videos, I used to upload like little edits of this game called Bad Business. And for the past couple of years, there have been like no updates. I mean, the game's been stuck on like the Halloween event for at least 2 years or some shit. The game was pretty much end of service from what I was gauging, but as of recent, the developer has come back and started to develop the game again. Granted, they're using Claude, which is an interesting choice. I don't fully support, but for my own selfish reasons, I do enjoy the game being updated again, and it's been kind of fun returning to the game and just like playing it again. It's just a FPS game that I fell in love with. My little brother ended up showing me it, I think like 5 or so years ago at this point, and I was absolutely hooked from like day one of playing that game. I'm not much of like an FPS gamer anymore, and I've never been like super, I guess like competent at them, to put it in the best way that I can. So the fact that I played that one for so long, I ended up getting like the mastery camo, like you had to get like gold on I think 125 weapons, And I ended up doing that, and it was the first time that I had ever done it for a video game. Or really went for something like that hard completionist-wise. Okay, I gotta figure out what to do here. I do want to get coal as well, because I know I don't have much. Holy shit! The amount of mobs down here is crazy! But yeah, I ended up getting like the mastery camo for that game. And then on top of that, like you had like kill masteries specifically, where if you got like 1,000 kills with them, you'd get like a pure camo, so it'd be like gold, and then just some other ones that are just like a flat color instead of being I think just the usual Damascus pattern that they had. And I missed the fuck out of the game, honestly. Like when it fully like died off, I was genuinely so sad that it just like was not coming back. So on top of that, a lot of my time has been kind of delegated to that instead. But yeah, I am kind of burnt out of that game given the amount of time that I put it in like such a short period of time. So I decided time to slow it down, play something a little less like competitive and just chill. And it's ironic because I think the last video that I recorded, I was talking about like this pressure YouTubers have to constantly upload. And even with these, I ended up falling into the same thing where I was like, damn, I kind of feel like I have to upload and I'm gonna like go through consequences if I don't. But is that realistic? Probably not. But we're gonna try and finish the roof now. I didn't realize it, but we can't use like upside down stairs. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to kind of like maybe just maybe a slab or just like a full block. I don't know how well that'll look, but we'll try it for now. Let's see. I don't need that. I need my crafting table to make more stairs. And for the Aether video that I've been making, I basically plan on just like beating the game. Like, and in my brain, it's just like beating all the bosses and kind of like playing whatever content the mod has to offer. And once that's done, I already have it like in production where I'm editing together all the footage. But it's a slow process. I've never made like a full big video like that or like a fully produced one. So it's taken some time to kind of like learn the basics of basically video editing, to put it simply, because I know like keyframing stuff and all that, but anything outside of that, I am pretty damn lost on. But it's been fun as well. It's been a learning experience. And also very nostalgia filled because I haven't played like the Aether in literally years before that. But all that to just say that the video is still coming. Coming along slowly, granted, but it is still coming. And I am excited because I think it'll be a cool, just like long movie form video. I plan on adding like little cinematics in between when I'm just like playing. I want to have like at its like max, I want to have like little graphics that show up on screen that show what I'm talking about, just to better communicate like what's going on. I want to have like a full just like video basically. And I've been brainstorming over time just like more shit to make, just because whenever I get into the routine of making stuff, I do enjoy it, but consistently sticking to that routine of making videos and just like doing that grind does not usually sit well in my brain. I usually feel like I have it almost comes off wrong, but like better things to do than that, when realistically like I'm just gonna be in here like probably playing a game or playing guitar or something like that. So I don't know. I don't think we need that much more cobblestone. but I'll get another stack, I think. I'm still playing super old Minecraft. I have an idea to basically go through like a lot of the versions in like separate videos and just like basically do what I'm doing now, but in like a chronological version type of format. But in my brain, I also wanted to have that be more edited than not, because these videos that I make, I usually just kind of like throw them out there. I don't usually care about like cutting it or anything like that. Um, but with like that specific series that I want to plan out, I do want to edit it a little more. That inherently makes the time that I'm gonna spend on like that world just exponentially grow. Cause what's it called? Does that look bad? I almost preferred it like that, and then I feel like I could probably raise the planks up a little bit, and that'll make it look a little nicer. But yeah, in my brain, like the series that I want to make is kind of like very high effort and very long term. So I'm still trying to figure out specifics with that, kind of like what I want to do fully. There's a lot of discontinued features in older versions that you could bring up to the more modern versions. And I think that's a cool concept. But looking deeper into it, getting every specific one would kind of be a pain in the ass and for very little kind of like shown. Because there's stuff like a drowning immune mob or something like that that I specifically remember, where it's not even like observable technically through any like normal means. You'll have to like be in an F3 menu to even realize that it exists. And for things like that, I don't know if it's necessarily like worth going for unless I really get into like the discontinued features, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking like at the end of the project, it'll be this just giant, long-term, just expansive world where like you could see almost like the progression of me playing visually throughout it. You'll have like the old terrain generators, and I wanted to try my best to like preserve them as you move along in the world. Because like if you start off in like InfDev, for example, you'll basically spawn with that little obsidian cross that was in like a dev version, which I plan on using. And then I'd imagine if you just walked like north per se, and then updated the game along when you did that, you'd have almost like a natural terrain progression throughout all of the versions. You know what I mean? And I think something like that would be so, so cool to try and like just develop over time. But given that, you know, there are many other things and other like features in old versions that you can preserve as well, I want to do more than just like world generation or world or terrain generation. Like I'd imagine having like every version of like villages as you update along. You know, stuff like that where you could just visually like keep and just like preserve a lot of these older versions and the older quirks of those versions. You'll have like farms from older versions that you'll create, and then like they'll end up not functioning anymore as the game progresses. And I just think all that would be so cool to kind of like play through and see. I've delved into a little bit of pretty much all of those super early versions. So I've played like pre-classic, I played early classic so far. Survival test I've played. In dev I actually really, really enjoy. And then it goes into like inf dev, alpha, beta, and so on. But yeah, I eventually want to have a series. I've thought of even putting it on a separate channel where I just go through every single version possible. There's just a lot of planning that needs to go into that, given how many versions there are over the years, and just how much you could do in each of them that is exclusive to those versions, if you could gauge what I mean. But yeah, just other ideas that I have. But we finished the roof. I feel like I've gotten really nothing done this episode, but honestly, that's okay. That's perfectly fine with me. You know what? Actually, to finish off the house, we need glass. So I think for the last like 7 minutes that I record, I'm going to go find some sand. We're going to smelt that down. I don't know if we have panes in this version, so we'll see if we have those. And then we'll finish off the house. Again, apologies for kind of like not uploading for a while. I tried to warn and say that I was like working a lot, and I objectively have been. So I haven't been in kind of like the routine, as I've been saying, of uploading. Which I apologize for, because I know that I have like a couple specific people that have been commenting regularly, and you are very much appreciated. So shout out to you guys. It's interesting to see that people, even if it's in my brain low effort, just like unedited videos, that people still enjoy them, which inherently means that I've got to be doing something right, which is nice. We'll also collect this clay while I'm here. Something I miss about these old versions is that like if you raise above water, your breath meter gets completely reset. And I think you could still like use like doors in modern version to breathe underwater technically, but it was just so much easier. We have 20 sand. I'm gonna smelt this down. I'm wondering, what if I replaced like the bottom layer of this with like brick? I don't know how it would look given the cobblestone. So maybe we make like a little fireplace in here instead. But we're gonna smelt that down. We're gonna take 1 coal in order to... Ooh, we have 52 clay. I might need a little bit more than 1 coal. So let's see if we can find just some easily accessible coal from the cave over here. Oh, you know why my sense is so high? Every time that I go to play this version, my sense gets reset. But I just, like, did not reset it this entire episode. That's so funny. I'm like, wow. I can do, like, 3 360s if I just, like, move my mouse a little bit. Sheep cave, bottom text. Damn, there's, like, no fucking coal. Anyways... Damn, really? Fuck. I thought... I must have mined it all. Oh, there we go. Thank you for exploding. I really needed that. We have 2 more coal. That's all I'm gonna get. Let's see. This episode feels like a complete mess, but I kind of find that funny. Okay, let's see. Throw the 2 coal in here. I can't shift click it into the inventory. But do we have panes? We do have panes. Wow. Okay. Bam, bam. There we go. And then just 1 more right there, and we have windows. That's beautiful. Wow. The house is actually complete. I found it so funny every time that I would log in that, like, we just had no roof. Okay. So we're gonna let that smelt down. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these bricks eventually. I kind of... Again, I want to see if this bottom layer of wood would look good as brick. But then, again, what's gonna worry me is these cobblestone blocks. I'm not sure how it's gonna look, but... we can eventually test that out. You might be able to test that out now, even. I need 1 more brick block. Speaking of Windows, actually, I plan on switching to Linux. I've already moved over my really bad, like, laptop to Linux. Just because, like, I wanted to test it out. And I've gone through, like, you know, running through distros, like, resetting my C drive every time, like over and over again to try out, like, Arch or like or any like Debian based one or anything like that. So I have some experience, but I've never like fully committed to switching over to Linux. I'm actually running like Windows 10 specifically right now, and what's crazy to me is that like the really bad laptop that I had like said that it was available to update to Windows 11. And I knew that it was a bad idea, but in all honesty, it was my grandma's laptop that she just did not use. So I was like, wow, it's running Windows 11 and it's using up pretty much all of the resources. And it was actually kind of baffling because like it would actually like barely function with Windows. Like down to like unlocking the system would take minutes. Opening the file explorer could take, like I'm saying, like minutes. But I literally downloaded, I think, not even like the XFCE version of Linux Mint, but I think just the KDE version. I might be misremembering like the specifics of it, but it actually makes it run so much better. Like objectively, it's kind of nuts like how much performance you get out of not using Windows. And I have modern hardware on like this current system. I think I have like a 40 something GPU in here. I think a 4080 or 4090. So it's not like I have bad hardware, but something that I realize is that like Windows still uses up quite a lot of my processing power. And I don't like that necessarily. And I don't think anybody should. Switching off of Windows is hard. I know, even down to like some of the things that I want to do with the project that I was mentioning before, where I go through all the versions, inherently probably requires some programs that are stuck to Windows. But it's crazy that like even on my current computer that like I'm using Windows 10, which is less bloated. I'm using like an enterprise version that I like pirated. But if I switch to Windows 11, it would use more of my inherent resources. And that's on top of like, you know, modern games now. You have to kind of always like work around just like inoptimization of them. You have to downscale and then AI upscale them. And I find that crazy too. So I eventually want to switch even my main desktop over to Linux because I feel like if I'm paying for my hardware, I feel like this shouldn't be controversial. I should be able to use all of my hardware. Granted, I know that the operating system will inherently use some resources, but the amount that Windows has, or the amount of like usage that Windows just naturally has, is kind of nuts, and I don't like it. So my plan is to switch over to some version of Linux. I've been kind of binge watching a lot of people rice their Linux distributions. So maybe I'll go as far as to just doing Arch and like, you know, just building up my own system from the ground up. I think that's cool. But yeah, Windows 11 uses so much of your computer's resources that if you have like a low-end computer, most of it's going to be dedicated to like running the operating system in the first place. That like if you're trying to game, it's impossible. I don't know. And on top of that, something that I've been noticing recently, I have a work app, right? And to check my schedule and stuff, I have to go into that app. And this is something that I've noticed with like even other programs outside of that, is that like the basic functionalities of a lot of apps, despite our hardware getting, you know, objectively better over the years, maybe not more accessible, but like in pure processing power, we have more than ever. You know what I mean? And it feels like even basic apps tend to struggle with like basic functionality. And in my brain, I want to go like hard capitalism, because it probably is. But it's crazy that even down to my work app, it gives me the option to like log in with my fingerprint, right? And you know, despite data collection, whatever. I use my fingerprint to try and log in, and it still brings up the login page where I have to manually enter my password. And this is like a prime example of what I'm talking about, where like I just asked for basic functionality in these apps and stuff that should function normally, but they just don't seem to do that. You know what I mean? I'll be on like modern hardware, and granted, I know Discord itself is like just basically like a glorified Electron web browser. But even in that, with modern hardware, you're gonna say that it stutters or it malfunctions. You know, like, it's just something I've been noticing a lot more. I think I've been on the rant that, like, old social medias like MySpace used to give you wealths of customization when it kind of came to your profile. And then over time, like, that's just either completely cut out despite us having more power to process that stuff, or it's just behind, like, paywalls. So, I don't know. In my brain, I'm seeing the internet change fundamentally from what it was when I was like growing up or when I was a kid. And I don't think I like it very much. In my opinion, of course. Whatever that even means at this point. But I'm going to leave it there. I know we didn't get much done, but I just kind of wanted to throw something out just to say that I'm still here. I'm still alive. I haven't croaked yet from overworking or just like anything like that. But just to kind of ramble on, we've got our nice little house built. We've got a nice little roof, got nice little windows in this nice little world. And I think I'm gonna call it there. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for sticking around, the few of you that like regularly comment, because you are seen and you are appreciated. This is a community after all. And I'll catch you later.